I watched Chris Larkin's video the other day of him going to collect spare parts for his aircraft, in his aircraft. I thought, an excellent way, saving postage and packaging. I needed a fuel filter. Well, I needed to replace a fuel filter, which Derek had lent me. So I thought, nip down to Haverfordwest, see metal seagulls, and pick one up, saving the postage and packaging on the way. Brilliant. The route couldn't be easier. Straight up to Carmarthen, then west to Haverfordwest. Haverfordwest, big airfield with 2 runways. On the way there, near St Clair's, I was on top of the cloud. Very smooth and gentle. As you can see, one finger you can control the aircraft, beautiful. But it looks a bit solid ahead, the cloud, so rather than getting stuck on top, I decided to drop down. I say this is by St Clair's, about 15 miles or so to run. The cloud base was about 1200 feet, 1500 feet. So here I am positioning now for runway 21 at Haverfordwest. The wind was more or less right down the runway, so it made things very easy. A bit of turbulence as I come over these trees. There we go. And then just having to add a little bit of power just to get to the numbers. Crazy long runway. These black patches coming up were just debris, bits of dust that had been washed down with the recent rain. So turning off and taxiing up to parking and to go and see metal seagulls to obtain said filter. And here we are back again, almost at the same place, lining up runway 21 at Haverfordwest for departure now. Very short roll because the wind is more or less straight down the runway, and you can see from the cloud streets ahead that wind direction was coming still from the south there. Some noise sensitive areas on the extended centre line, so just an early left turn to avoid it. Back towards Swansea. The clouds often build up from the Gower and just form a barrier there, but they had definite tops, so I got up on top. It definitely broken. I could see the sun the other side before I climbed up, so I decided to do a little bit of cloud surfing. So often happens once you're more or less the other side of Swansea. The clouds haven't built up so much. You come down to Swansea Bay, and ahead there you can just see Swansea Bay and the clouds not yet formed. There's some footage from a previous flight over Swansea Bay, just approaching along the coast towards Old Park Farm. Here we are, the steelworks on the left, the large reservoir just ahead of us. And the call up at this stage, and an aircraft on the ground gave me that the wind was favouring runway 12 at Old Park Farm. So moved up and informed that I was going to join right base for runway 12. That's where I am. That's the view that you had before. So I'm going to join there. But as you can see from here, it's a bit awkward if you're not familiar with it, where the airfield is. And just with local knowledge, you know that it is, let me just point it out to you. There, that's where the airfield is. And the houses in front of us mean that you've got to do this rather kinky route to get into the airfield. Let's just speed things up a bit. The trim is on the top of the joystick there, and that's where my thumb keeps going, just trimming the nose up more and more. Got full flaps down. So you can see the houses there in a kind of 2 o'clock position, and the runway is beyond them. There is a bit of a right and then a left to get to the runway. Cutting the corner just a bit. Yeah, well, just made it round into that field. Down this field. The runway is now coming up in our 11 o'clock. Amazing thing here, there's no power lines on this approach, which is so unusual for Old Park Farm. The runway, the first kind of quarter of it is quite a steep uphill, so I'm aiming to land on the intersection with runway 18. So this is runway 12, southeasterly, right into the wind today, over the fence, uphill, and just flare. Okay. The little slope uphill slows you down real quick. See the windmill in there indicating which way the wind's coming. Swing round and backtrack and to the hangar. Not quite as fast as this indicates. Up. Our quick check of both mags, both systems. Good. And shut it down. Okay, thanks so much for watching all the way to the end.